let's chat about the warrior face of the feminine. So I love this face of the feminine. It's a bit diverse, and there's a few different archetypes or a few different goddesses or a few different parts of self that we work with in rewilding. But I think today, to keep it simple in this video, is we'll really focus on Pallas Athena. Yeah, that feels good. So warrior part of self, or the face of the feminine that is the warrior, is really the part of the feminine that kind of makes things happen in this world, right? So Pallas Athena, for instance, is like this arrow. So she's this, this force that can really cut through any obstacles in the physical world to make things happen. Now, she's great at playing in a man's world, so she is absolutely wonderful at coming into the boardroom, running the show, and making things happen. So for those of us who are looking to really take our careers to the next level, for those of us who are really wanting to bring our creative potency into the world and manifest that into the world, these warrior archetypes are a great face of the feminine to work with. So they also will push us and challenge us to really step up. Now, when we're working with soul purpose, so when we're working with that deep purpose and knowing what it is that I'm here to do, it's, that knowing arises within us. And then there's always that question, how do I do this in the world? Yeah, I understand I have this feeling that I'm called to do this or to be this in the world, but how? Right? The warrior goddesses, the warrior face of the feminine, brings in the how-to, right? In a very clean, very pointed way. It's brilliant. She's brilliant. They're brilliant. There's another face that we talk about in rewilding. Sorry, not another face, but there's another goddess we talk about in rewilding who is also part of the warrior archetype, and that's Vesta. Vesta is a gorgeous goddess, and we put her in the warrior category because she is a virginal goddess and she is a woman unto herself. So it's not necessarily that she's a virgin in our terms, but back in the day of the goddess traditions, she was a woman who was owned by no man, right? So she has this very warrior ability in her. She's the keeper of the inner flame. Beautiful energy to work with. Really helps to flesh out what it is we are, how it is we can be of service in the world. So to really feel into that, but also, where is our inner flame at? Where is that inner fire? Where, that container, she creates this container of yes, that's my fire. That's my fire. She's great for helping women with boundaries, right? Yes, yes for the warrior goddess. So for women who sometimes feel, oh my gosh, I'm so permeable. I'm such an empath. I feel everything. I take on everything. These are phenomenal goddesses, phenomenal parts of self to work with to help strengthen those boundaries. Vesta's great for that. Another goddess in the warrior realm to look at is Diana. Beautiful energy to work with, especially around the sisterhood. So Diana's fantastic. She was a hunter. She's the woman with the bow and arrow. So also that very streamlined. She can hang out with the boys. She gets things done. She makes things happen. But there's a bit of sisterhood stuff around her, sisterhood energy. So this might be a little bit in your face, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, is sometimes a little bit in your face. If you've ever had that energy where you walked into a place and there were lots of other women and you feel that competition with other women, or the am I good enough sort of feelings. Or let's say you're starting out a business and you're looking online at all the social media and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I keep up with this? And you start to feel like you're taking on this energy of either competition or not good enough. She's a great archetype to work with. So she's a really powerful warrior goddess in that capacity as well. So as you can see, each of these threads, right? So they're just threads of energy. They're archetypal patterns. So it's a specific signature of energy that's both out in the world, so external to us, but then also within us. So what rewilding does is it's waking these parts up. If they're not already awake, it's also flushing them out. So if there are any kinks in it, right? Maybe my Athena has been kinked from some childhood stuff that went on, or past life stuff, or who knows, lots of other things. So let's say my Athena's kinked. I'm going to have a hard time making things happen in my world, right? I might have these big dreams, but they're not coming to fruition. So then what we do is we work with that energy and we straighten out the kink. So now it can flow, right? Okay, let's do we'll do a tiny practice on Athena. And yeah, so great practice. I'm not going to be able to do it, explore it for you, but a really powerful practice to do with Athena, I'll sort of try, is that yoga pose, right? So if you were to get into that warrior yoga pose, right? So you hold this, and you hold, and you call upon Athena. Call upon Athena energies, and you're holding, and you're feeling, right? So this is extremely Athena. This is extremely warrior. I mean, the pose is called warrior, for crying out loud. So you're in this, and you're holding this, and you're starting to feel the power of this pose and the power of Athena. You're starting to feel the power of this real warrior in you. Right? And you start to draw up energy. So you're drawing up energy from either the ground or possibly your base, your root chakra, possibly your womb, hara area. So you start to build this energy. And then a phenomenal thing to do is once you feel that energy, grab a pen and paper. She is brilliant at communicating as well. So Athena is brilliant at giving us insights. She loves to chat and she's always there to give you insights. So asking her anything around career, purpose, making something happen in the world, direction, focus, planning, organizing, coordinating, anything like that, she is brilliant at doing. So hold that pose. Bring up the energy of her. Start to feel that real warrior in you. And then sit down, grab a pen and paper. Maybe you can't even sit. Maybe there's so much energy you have to just stand. And ask her questions. So it's that stream of consciousness writing, right? You just write. You ask, what insights do you have for me around my job? How can I make this happen in the world? What do you suggest for this? Right? Awesome. She is brilliant to work with. They're all wonderful to work with. But so to just quickly give you a recap on it, for the warrior face of the goddess, the warrior face of the feminine, it's a great place for women to work who are wanting to make something happen in the world, or who are wanting to create stronger boundaries, right? To really feel this is self, this is other, and to really have that strong boundary within. And also to work on any of the am I good enough stuff when compared to other women, right? So specifically in the sisterhood, woman to woman type stuff. Brilliant, thank you, and I hope to see you in one of the other videos.